All right, calling all photographers. You have the chance to show off your best shot.
Happening in your community, it's the Best in Show Photo Competition.
Your community is brought to you by Carriage Crossing Senior Living.
Roseby here's now to tell us about it. I don't know how much of that you heard, but it's okay. Welcome, Janet. How are you?
Hi, it's great to be here.
Okay, so we are talking about the annual photo competition that you guys do. You team up with the Camera Club here in Champaign County, and you've got some examples here of, I'm guessing, this year's or last year's?
Yeah, these are entries. I came back on Thanksgiving Day. I bopped into the office, and these were already turned in. So Kyle and Olivia are super on the ball, and they were our first entrants.
Well, let's talk about the competition.
Okay, so this is our 20th annual show, which is a big deal. And because of coronavirus, we will be doing a couple things a little bit differently. And so ordinarily, we do the show at Lincoln Square. We hang up all the photos, and then there's a judge's critique where everybody gathers together, and here's why the judges picked which ones won and why. And maybe some ones that came close, like, oh, if you'd only done this instead, it would, you know, it
helpful information.
Could have been elevated, yeah. So this year, our judges' critique will probably be online. It'll be on Zoom. And the other thing we're doing on Zoom this year is we're doing a workshop ahead of time. So for people who've maybe thought about entering and never entered, people who have entered and had a couple questions, we're going to show the background process of how the judging is done. And then we're going to talk about matting. Like these, you could tell someone professionally, they took these to a place and they put them on foam core. But you can do it yourself really easily. And we'll kind of go through that about how they have to be presented. And that is on Monday the 21st at 6:30. And that's just a free half-hour Zoom. So that should be, and then if people have questions, we'd love to answer their questions ahead of time.
I would imagine most professional photographers or people who've done it for a long, long time probably know the ins and outs. But for those who just like to take pictures and might want to get involved, what are the rules? Can these be photos you take on your phone?
Yes.
Can they be, do they have to be in, obviously they don't have to be in Urbana or Champaign, because that one certainly isn't.
Yeah, no, we have different categories. So we have like an architecture category, a nature category, and we have rules for each of those categories. Like for example, nature, the hand of man shouldn't be present. So you've got this beautiful sunset, but then there's a fence running along through the photo. That cannot be a nature photo because we have that fence there, or a lamppost or a barn, stuff like that. And then
fences don't grow in nature? Is that not how that works out?
I mean, that wood is natural, right?
But what about kids? Can kids participate?
Yes, kids enter, and the coolest thing about this is any child 18 and under, if you're in high school, senior high school, enters for free.
Oh, even better.
So no charge. The only cost would be having to put it on the foam core. So kids' entries are free. I feel like last year the youth category was one of our biggest categories.
I bet. And now with all these kids who have phones and taking pictures and
free time.
Yes.
Yes, and the photos do have to have been taken last year. So in this past year, so all the enters, they have to be 2020 photos. So last year's Christmas photos can't be in this, but this year's Christmas photos can, because the first deadline is January 20th. So that's the early bird deadline. So it's $5 for your first print, and then $3 for each after, and you can do 5 photos, and you'd be surprised how many people enter 5 photos.
Oh, I bet. Well, $5.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat that. One thing I love about photography is how perspective changes everything. And the fact that you could take one of these mats essentially for brushing stuff off of your shoes and turn it into a beautiful photo is fantastic.
I guess I didn't see the photo.
She's down. Yeah, she's down on the ground getting that.
Yeah, and it's just a really cool perspective of something we walk over every single day and don't think anything of it.
Yeah, we do a big survey afterwards, and we ask them what their favorite thing about the show is, and it's always seeing the other photographers' entries and their images and kind of learning from other people and seeing. A lot of people have never entered a show before. Some people enter it year after year, and a lot of times when they start they're getting too good and they're winning and stuff, we want them to like move up and join the Camera Club, because the Camera Club, they do amazing work, and they have a lot more seminars and workshops and contests where you can get a lot more experience and practice.
Okay,
so prizes involved?
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
Yeah, we have cash prizes, we have gorgeous ribbons, and sometimes we have gift certificates. So there's first, second, and third prizes in all the categories.
Okay, and then we're looking at some details there on the screen with the info that you're going to need if you want to participate in this year's 20th annual Best in Show. A great time for these budding photographers in our community to show off some of their work.
Yeah, it's really the only amateur photographer competition that we have, and we have professional judges. Every year it's a different panel, journalists, professors, art photographers. We try to mix it up every year. So
all right.
always really excited.
I'd like taking a photo or two.
Yeah.
I would prefer to get the cash over the ribbon, but you know.
You get the cash and
Oh,
the
you get
ribbon.
both. All right, even better. All right, thanks, Janet.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here. We'll connect you with all the details about how you can take part in the photo competition at CILiving.tv.
I'll make you a participation ribbon.
I want that. I want cash.